Today I thought I would do another recommendation for this time for a video game. This is actually one of two I've been waiting for the most of this year. The only difference being the other one was made by a company that nuked its credibility harder than Hiroshima and proved to be a bigger disappointment than the GOP. But forget about that. The main point is this is a game I've been waiting for a while to come out, and I'm glad it did, which is Doom Eternal. And I kind of mainly want to do this for people who, like me, have never played a Doom. Well, like I was before the 2016 one, which I played in 2018. I never played a Doom before that. I made this mainly for people like that who have not played Doom but are fond of games that are violent or aren't really bothered by violent games and aren't crazy. So I thought I'd do this for them who, like I used to be. If you've already played the game, you can. Well, I suppose if you're bored and want something to listen to, I guess stay. But not much. You probably wouldn't be hearing anything new from me. But anyway, I thought I'd just go into this, which is some of the things that I think were beneficial and reasons why you should play it. My first reason: wait, you haven't got it yet? What's wrong with you? Now that's out of the way. The fond memories of this one. I got it around the same time I thought I was getting Mordred. But besides that, it adds on to what came before. For the weebs out there, this is the closest I've seen to a Goblin Slayer game, unless Monster Hunter was actually serious about that Goblin Slayer DLC. You basically play a guy who is the Goblin Slayer of his series, although I think it should be said in reverse. It's more like Goblin Slayer is more like Doom Slayer or Doomarine or whatever his name was in the original series. And he hates demons. He hates them more than Ken Allen hated Otis. Then again, can you blame him? Screw Otis. The guns are decent. Well, actually, no, there's lots of guns, a decent amount of them. Like a super shotgun, assault rifle, and a BFG. There's weapon mods, a bigger story, more lore if you're into that kind of thing. There's more background information for the Doomslayer. Daisy, for the those of you who aren't aware, Daisy was a rabbit that the Doom guy originally had, but then lost. And air quotes around the lost part. There's lots of skins like the classical Doom Marine. No iron sights. You never realize how superfluous something can be until it's gone. Same with reloading. Screw realism. There's waves upon waves of demons. It's a simple thing, really. It's not too complicated. You move from one area to the next, wiping out demons like a badass super soldier. You're a Reaper in soldier's armor. There's satisfying glory kills. Wholesome violence. As we all know, the whole video games cause violence argument is bullshit, and you need to let out that aggression as healthy adults, constructively, of course, in some way. I think this kind of would scratch that itch. There's replayability, which I think is really missing with games now because I don't see that as much anymore, where there's a game that I can replay over and over. I haven't had that kind of feeling since Jak and Dax, the Jak series, the Ratchet and Clank series, and the Sly Cooper series. After that, I kind of didn't have an urge to play a game over and over, except for Alan Wake. That one I would play once a year, usually before a new season of Warehouse 13 started. But this game, however, is an exception. It's fun to play over and over, unless you get bored easily. It's actually really fun to play the first mission, in my opinion, the most, because you just tear through them like there's no tomorrow. And lastly on this list before I go off the cuff is it helps people looking for inspiration. Well, I think it does. I don't know about you, but whenever I'm working on the script for my comic, I tend to be at a loss for where to go next. And this kind of helps me from time to time just to brainstorm, think of some new stuff. Kind of like the Legacy of Kain series, only that I would use more for fantasy. And this, well, yeah, it mostly helps from time to time. Although for me, that it and the medication usually helps. So, but yeah, there's that, and that's all for the list. My main point is it's fun. It's not complicated. It's simple to play. It has a story you can follow what's happening. There is an air of mystery to it. Now, I didn't read the lore, so I don't know everything about the Doomslayer, but I kind of like what they've done with him in this one because in the 2016 one, I think they were just trying to imply he was the betrayer. In this one, I think he's supposed to be connected to the original Doom series. It's been a couple of months since I've played it, but actually, no, I played it just before doing this. It's still fun. A lot harder though as you go up the difficulty levels. And I think that might actually be it. Actually, no, that's not it. That's not it. The weapons all are fun. My favorite one so far is still the BFG because that thing just destroys everything in its path. It's like the Peacemaker of the Jak and Daxter series. Only it was made first and does way more damage in my opinion. The shotgun, the pump action shotgun is still my favorite one to use. Then the BFG, but I have to save ammo for the BFG. So if I have to choose which one to use more congruently, oh no, not congruently, continuously, it would either have to be the assault rifle or the pump action shotgun. Those are my two favorite to use when I'm not using the BFG because they're simple to use. And I mainly recommend this one because, like I've said again, it's simple. The weapons are good. The story is easy to follow. There's not a lot for me to tell, actually, without spoiling it. But some characters come back from the 2016 game. Vega is one of them. I don't think that would be a spoiler. You have actually one thing that I will agree with another YouTuber is it does kind of look like DLC for the original 2016 one in some ways, but it adds on and improves in which is what a sequel is supposed to do. A sequel is supposed to improve on what came before. And I would say that it did this. Unlike the Jak and Daxter series, it didn't just it just added on. Jak and Daxter, it didn't just add on. It basically took the old game, shot it with shotgun, played the Linkin Park. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm still in a joke there. Basically, Jak and Daxter went overboard with the sequels. Doom didn't, which is good because after I played the 2016 one, I played the original one. Still the same in my opinion. The only difference is the graphics have changed and there's more you can do with it, or there was more the developers could do with it. I also like the expansion of the story with the Doomslayer's background, like with the Night Sentinels. I really enjoyed that, and it left room for me wanting to know more. But then again, that was in the game. I didn't read the lore in the side of the game, so. But yeah, I would like to see more of that implemented into the games. Not too much, just a little, and see him just. Actually, I would like to see a little bit of his time with the Night Sentinels. That would actually be a good comic. I'd also like to know like what the Marauder was talking about when he was having that interaction with the Doomslayer. Again, that might still be in the lore stuff that I'm supposed to read, so I might just have to go and read that, which is going to be a pain because I do not like reading anything but comics. But yeah, those are just my thoughts on it. This is just something I wanted to recommend to people, even though it's already been out for a while. But yeah, if you haven't played a Doom game before, this is worth trying out. It's fun. It has replayability unlike most games that I play. And it's kind of exciting. It gives you something to do. Plus, it challenges you. with those collectible things, because on missions, if you're into collectibles, there's a certain thing where you have to do secret missions. Those are tough. They are very tough to do, or at least for me they were. But yeah, I just thought I would also add that. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. If you've played Doom Eternal, what do you think about it? Do you enjoy it? Oh, one last thing about the Doom Slayer. He is literally too angry to die. Just thought I would add that. And yeah, that's it. Have a nice day. And remember, the game was rigged from the start. So, rip and tear.